Hi there, hope you're doing well. Today I'm coming to you with a weekly astrology forecast for today, Sunday the 12th through next Sunday, March 19th. I'm gonna go over like some notes that I took on the aspects and transits that we'll be experiencing, and I'll also welcome in some channeled messages from spirit, and just see what comes through. And we'll also end with an oracle card. And yeah, so we're definitely experiencing a lot of like creative and airy energies. I've just been feeling a lot of like movement in terms of the energies, and a lot of opportunities to create change within our lives, like not so much external things crumbling away around us, but just very much we're able to take the reins and ride into our own futures that we're painting with our minds. Like I'm seeing, like, as someone is riding forward on a horse, the landscape is being painted in front of them, and that's definitely all about co-creation and you having the ability to envision something, dream it, and then create it into being. Like an architect, you're the architect of your future, you're the architect of your career, you're the architect of how you want your home life to look, the type of relationship that you want to manifest into your life. So on March 14th, we have Mars in Gemini square Neptune in Pisces. And so this could present some communication problems and confusion. But I also want to emphasize with these astrology readings and the energies that the transits could present, again, you are autonomous over your own life. And also, anytime there's kind of like more of a warning message or anything that you might perceive as negative, remember that you are able to harness the energy as you see fit. You can seize it as an opportunity for growth. You can just bring in awareness and mindfulness, use patience and use discernment in order to create the best outcome possible. So just because it's, like with Mercury retrograde, for instance, like I'm not saying this is happening or whatever, but just as an example, a lot of people will say, you can't do this, that, or the other during Mercury retrograde, or this is a bad time for that, or, oh, if you're planning to do that during that time, it's not good and it's going to turn out badly. To an extent, there are times that are more auspicious to do things than others, but at the same time, if you've already set something in motion and you're like, well, honestly, that doesn't feel like it applies to me, or honestly, I feel called to do this thing, even though somebody is telling me I shouldn't because of whatever's happening in the stars. If you feel called, your intuition comes first. Your discernment and your own personal communication with your spirit guides, with spirit, with God, the universe, that comes first before whatever anybody tells you in a reading. So that's just like a side message, and also oh my gosh, what's the word? Spirit disclaimer. Thank you. Yeah, that's just a disclaimer for all of this. But that being said, there is the possibility for some communication problems and confusion. And I really see the solution to this, or the way to approach this week, is with patience and listening. Yeah, listening over speaking when it comes to communication. Listening and then thinking, taking whatever information has been presented to you, sitting with it, meditating on it, praying on it, and really discerning from there how it applies to your own life and what you've downloaded in your intuition about whatever is happening or whatever conversation you've had. And in particular, I got watch for miscommunication at work, because with this Mars energy, um Mars I associate with kind of work, because that's like ambition and action. And so this is, yes, don't rush into anything. Try not to have like, um I call them foot and mouth moments, where your words, your mouth kind of moves faster than your brain, or you're just eager to kind of get things done, so you might rush things and then missteps in communication, or forget to tell someone who's on your team what you're doing, for example. I hope that makes sense, but it's more, this is never ever a prediction of anything bad happening. It's just spirit guiding you, and your spirit guides offering you a little bit of like assistance in steering things to go more smoothly at work. And also, I have careful not to put charmers on a pedestal. And this, another term I use with myself is pedestaling, and it's when you idealize someone and you put them on a pedestal. And so, especially, there are people who are very adept communicators, very charming, very, they know how to speak well and say a lot of things that sound great. And if in this week with these energies in the stars, anything that sounds too good to be true is. And that's another thing with like not rushing. Like, we love a magic bullet. We love, for example, a pill you can take that will solve all your problems, but so rarely is that the reality of any solution. And so, yes, any solutions to problems at work are ones that involve multiple steps, ones that lean on the strengths of multiple people. There is not one person who's going to solve all your problems. There is not one action that you can take that will fix everything. And Spirit's just encouraging you, be patient. Don't be afraid to be methodical, careful, take your time, even when there's pressure. Like I'm getting like, your boss will appreciate you so much more if you ask for a little bit of an extension, but out of that you get much better quality work versus something that you rushed and ends up shoddy. But then also, like, with the charmers, this applies to your romantic and social life, where if somebody is coming to you, love bombing, which is when someone is immediately, they could be putting you on a pedestal. They could be telling you everything you want to hear about yourself, and bringing you gifts and making elaborate plans with you when you've only known them a week. Like, just be careful with that. Take a step back, ask for a day or two to think about anything they might be offering you. I'm getting like, if somebody invites you on a trip, if somebody gives you like you get a nagging feeling or something's not quite right, like you're like, well, they look great on paper, but something's a little off with this person. Or if somebody is giving you the ick, even if like your friends and family are like, oh, they seem great, trust that feeling. Trust your communication with God and yourself, your heart, your spirit guides, whatever faith system applies to you. Trust that first and foremost over anything else, and that'll help you see past the fog. I'm getting fog with this Neptune and Pisces energy. That's a very dreamy, impractical, and the impractical butting heads with the Mars and Gemini, that could just lead to some very preventable issues, heartaches, what could be called failures or mistakes. Like, mistakes are learning opportunities, but sometimes there are mistakes that we make where you're like, why did I even do that? It's not something that you're even learning from. It's just something you can see could have easily been prevented. That's the kind of mistakes that could happen here. But the solution is patience, mindfulness, and meditation, communication with source. And so then on March 15th, we have Sun in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. And this is that creative energy I was really feeling, and just express yourself artistically. So I'm getting like an energy of like channeling, like maybe you have a lot of frustration, pent up frustration coming from, like you've discerned that people around you are being shady, or work has just not been going smoothly. Take that frustration and channel it into your side projects, your side creative quests, the things that you do for you and your spirit. Uh, definitely song, dance, and I got painting especially. So if you sing in the shower, if I'm getting that you could be receiving downloads, or channeling songs that you sing. Pay attention to the songs that you just start mindlessly singing in the shower that get stuck in your head. Listen to them, dance to them, allow them energy to move through your body and release it in that way. And then on March 16th, we have Mercury and Pisces square Mars in Gemini. And so this is a time to focus on you and self-reflect. So I just got a download about like the Gemini versus Pisces energy being kind of at odds, in the sense of like I'm getting Gemini as the extroverted social energy, the side of you that wants to communicate with others, converse, be the life of the party, versus the Pisces energy that encourages you to go inward, to dream, to imagine, to do solitary creative work. So you might be experiencing a bit of a push-pull with yourself with that, where you kind of feel like, I don't even know what I need or want to do right now. And that's a time to, take a step back, focus on you, self-reflect. Journaling is always my go-to for self-reflection. And what's cool about journaling, because I know it's a widely encouraged practice, but sometimes even I go through phases where I don't feel like journaling, but what it does is it slows your thoughts down, especially with that Gemini, even both the Piscean and Gemini energy, where it's like you could be having a lot of thoughts, a lot of daydreams, right? Daydreams with Pisces thoughts. And it's just like all this stuff floating up here, and you're just feeling like there's just so much up here going on. And when you sit down and write, at first it might feel frustrating, like, I can't even articulate this, or I want to find the right words. Just let it be a little bit more automatic. Sorry, I keep shaking the camera, but let it be a bit more automatic. And it also forces that stuff to slow down and organize itself a little bit. And if you just let it flow out of you, take a day or two, go back and read what you wrote also, because sometimes there will be stuff you weren't even aware that was coming out, that was in there. And that'll help you kind of see more clearly your situation and how you're feeling about your situation. That's the other thing. There's that analytical thinking aspect with the air sign energy versus that feeling aspect with the water energy, and journaling brings those two together really, really well. And those around you also may be prone to projecting onto you, or vice versa. You got to watch out for you projecting onto others or projecting onto your outward situation. Remember that your feelings, thoughts, and reactions are your responsibility, no matter what's going on in the stars. If it's Mercury retrograde, you cannot blame all your fuck ups on, because that's kind of irritating when you have that person who's like, oh, it's just because it was this, or it's because I'm a Scorpio, I do this. It's like, yes, we all have our shadow aspects, our tendencies, but we're very much responsible for our own mistakes and our own feelings and emotions. Yes, the thing that someone says or does to us will influence how we feel, but we get to react or reflect on those feelings, take them, transmute them to turn the situation into the best outcome possible, right? It's like someone could do something that makes you angry. Your anger The feeling of anger, valid, justified. And you could do something out of that anger, and nobody would say that the original reason, like, makes you unjustified, but they could argue that you made the situation worse by whatever it is you did. Or you yourself could just end up feeling a lot of regret and feeling like that was not my best self in that moment. So that's, again, this patience energy of, like, you don't have to act, react, say something in the moment in response to something someone does. If somebody is pressuring you to respond or act, you don't have to give in to that pressure. And that's somebody else projecting their own anxiety onto you. If they're saying you have to do something right now, never do you have to do anything. You always have a choice, and that choice is always yours. If somebody's making you feel like you don't have a choice, if it's a boss, I'm hearing if it's a parent, but I'm getting adult children. Like, I'm not getting like you're a child and you don't have autonomy yet. Like, I'm getting, you might have a parent who's overbearing, controlling, and trying to make guilt trip you. You always have a choice. And also, that person getting angry in response to you setting a boundary, saying no, doing something that is other than what they want you to do, their anger is their responsibility as well. And if they lash out on you, that's them being bad. You don't have to add fuel to that fire by going back and forth in an argument, text messages, angry emails with a coworker, whatever it might be. You get to be your best self every moment, no matter what is going on around you. And so we have on March 16th, Venus in Aries, square Pluto in Capricorn. And this ties in so well with what I just said. It says, be sure to let go of people and situations who bring out your worst. Right. So again, like, this comes from that awareness of, like, a lot of times when I feel myself getting irritable, angry, frustrated, instead of, like, in the past, maybe just immediately blurting out something that came to mind or something like that, I drop into my body. And that's something I got from yoga. So this could be for a suggestion for someone who was thinking about exploring yoga or picking back up their yoga practice that they might have fallen off of. It's great practice for dropping into your body, and the mind body connection awareness plays into you tapping into your intuition and discernment. I can feel in my body when something is wrong for me. I can feel in my body when someone is saying to me, if their energy towards me is not right, I can feel it. And so that, when you're taking the second to drop into your body, that's automatically you not speaking. That's not you blurting out or acting, lashing out, throwing something out of anger. That's you getting into observation mode, which is essentially meditation. Meditation is observing what's going on in here and in here, right? And let go, let go, let go, accept and let go. That's the message I'm getting. And that's with family, that's with friends, that's with the workplace. You always have the freedom. The universe will provide your safety net. An affirmation I sometimes use when I get a download that it's time to walk away from something, but I'm afraid of the financial implications, I say, God pays all my bills. And that's the God within me as well. It's not so much God is a separate being. It's like I have God within me and all around me, and it's going to work out somehow. All of my wants and needs are taken care of somehow. It starts with that belief, and it's knowing that if you're meant to be here, if you're meant to be alive, then life support will be provided through your faith. And I know that can feel abstract, and it can feel impractical. It can feel scary. It can feel like you're down to the wire, like you barely have enough. You're like, I barely have enough to pay for my next meal, and you don't know how it's going to happen. That's really when the miracles occur. It really is. And when people are bringing out your worst, when situations are not allowing for you to be your best, that hinders your ability to manifest, and that hinders your ability to see clearly the way forward as well. And so you have to clear the space, clear the air, and release so that you can move forward. Don't let anything or anyone hold you back. Yeah, and then more on the 16th is Mercury and Pisces conjunct Neptune and Pisces, and this is more about avoiding putting people on pedestals. Get your head out of the clouds. Yeah, clear the fog, come back down to earth a little bit, so that you can see and hear clearly what's going on. God is on earth with us as well. Like that, so the word God, the name God, can sometimes just come with all of that baggage of like big man in the sky, heaven, versus how that's not what I'm talking about when I talk about God right now. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about the all-powerful creative force that brought everything into existence. And so that's like you being faithful and prayerful and believing in miracles when it looks like things aren't going to work out. That's not the same thing as having your head in the clouds or rose-colored glasses when it comes to a person who is so clearly lying to you, who so clearly does not have your best interest at heart. That's two different things. Your faith versus your codependency is what I heard. And these are kind of blunt, tough love messages, but they wouldn't be delivered if you weren't ready to hear them. And if you watch more of my videos, you'll see that like my delivery and my energy, the way that I say things changes based on either the urgency or the nature of what spirit is trying to say. So I'm just very much getting the sense of like, you are ready to let go of the bullshit. That's what I heard, is like, there's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of people who may be trying to pull the wool over your eyes. You took it off already. You can bat that away. You can get rid of it. You don't need that person anymore who you were dependent on before, but who was lying to you and not treating you well and making you think that you were less than. You don't need that. Yes, you are going to be able to see and hear clearly what's going on. Very much discernment. That's the positive, like this Aries and Gemini energy combined is like you are able to be in that action-oriented forward momentum of Aries because of that that discernment of Gemini and that Piscean faith and intuition. I hope that makes sense. On March 17th, we have Venus in Taurus, sextile Saturn in Pisces. And so I got the message of just long exhale after all of that we just talked about. It's a lot of tough energies, a lot of frustration. In exhale is a release. Make sure you take a breather after work, and any interpersonal stress that may have been going on. Don't rush yourself into forgiving a person is what just came to me. Don't rush yourself into forgiveness. You can allow a situation like the dust to settle, a situation to just play out before you have to do anything else, because you need a break. You need a rest. You need to replenish your energy, because work takes energy and socializing takes energy. And so you need replenishment. You need the energy to flow in and out. Like what goes out must come back in, and then some. If you allow yourself to rest, your energy will be replenished tenfold, and you'll be able to create so much more effectively. And I mean create in a physical sense, in terms of creative projects, in addition to co-creation of like manifestation with the universe. So there's a suggestion here to go on a solo date later this week, as a reward for being disciplined. Specifically though, so again, like I'm getting the side quest, the hobby versus your day job. So like if you had a tough week at work, or you just felt like you were being disciplined about taking care of yourself in the midst of having to work, like you meal prepped like you promised yourself you would. You got your grocery shopping and your cleaning done, and you were disciplined with that stuff. Make sure that you also do stuff that fills your cup in a different way. Sleep is great and important, but also in your waking hours, your spare time, instead of just vegging out in front of the TV, go on a really fun, different solo date, like something that would fill your creative cup, like going to an art museum or an event that you wouldn't normally go to, or a drag show if that's your cup of tea, like whatever kind of lights you up or is something that would be kind of different for you. Or I'm getting karaoke night, because that's an opportunity to sing just for fun, like pick your favorite songs and do karaoke. I know that could be intimidating as a solo date, but maybe bring that close friend who, when you spend time with them, it's like, it's not like you're with a group of people where it's exhausting, and especially social. But like, say maybe you're in a relationship and your partner is your person who you guys can just be completely yourselves. They're like your extensions of each other almost. You can bring that person, and that's similar to the solo date idea. That's what I'm getting. And so then lastly, on March 18th, we have Mercury entering Aries. And so this is being direct in your communication. And this is also some more of that Gemini energy being harmonious with Aries energy, which is just such powerful creation, like creative energy, powerful career ambition type energy, like enterprising energy is what I'm getting from this. But definitely the recommendation is to now be very direct. Like I'm getting, so you know how I said, like, listen more than you speak. When you do speak, be clear, direct, bold. I'm so sorry. I like burped a little bit, but this is the channeling. This transit / aspect supports boldness and leadership when it comes to expressing ideas and making decisions. I'm getting, even if you're not your own boss or you're not the boss in your workplace, if you have a boss, this is just, you're going to be in an energy of self-leadership, of self-direction, and taking initiative, and it's going to be really good for you. It's going to get you that bonus, it's going to get you that really good review, and you're just going to see a lot of gains. But don't if somebody is a charmer, say, right, and they're saying a lot of stuff, you have so much power when you just come in with just a succinct statement of why they're wrong, or demonstrating how you see right through what they're saying, or you ask that perfect question that gets to the heart of why whatever they're saying is bullshit. Like, so it's just really powerful, and people tend to listen to that person who is quiet a majority of the time. People know that they've been thinking, that they've been mulling over whatever's been said in the meeting, for instance. And then they come out with a bold yet thoughtful, thought-provoking statement, solution, suggestion. That's going to be really powerful. It's going to get you a long way. Like, you're going to be moving forward so much. Sorry, I'm just trying to, like, cause I keep making the camera wiggle, but yeah, I hope this was helpful. I want to just pull out an oracle card for like a final message for this week. I'm going to be coming back tomorrow with a collective tarot reading. Haven't decided with Spirit what the theme is going to be yet, or what question we'll ask. But let's take a moment, pray, meditate, ask your spiritual team what you need to hear. You can continue as I shuffle. Ask for a sign if you need a sign. Guidance of the highest love and light. You are so awesome. I'm just getting this very powerful, intelligent energy from you. Okay, so we have this number 17, Padma Sundari. Out of darkness, the light is born. And I'm going to read a bit of the passage from the guidebook. All issues can be healed through the unlimited recourse and creative resourcefulness of the divine. You are destined to be part of a creative solution for issues you have in your life or that exist in the world and touches your heart. A problem only exists so that divine genius can resolve it. Struggles are sometimes the best way for us to learn something we need to understand for our life journey. Trust that when you ask for help, even apparently impossible situations can be turned around. With willing human engagement and divine grace, there is more than enough light, healing, creative innovation, wisdom, and energy available to keep Mother Earth and all her creatures, including humanity, thriving. Never give up your hope and trust in what is possible, nor your willingness to act upon that hope and trust. Okay, and then on the back of the deck, we have Blessing of Kumu. No good thing shall be withheld. That's such good manifestation energy. Let me get this in the book. Pull out an excerpt. And this is the Earth Warriors Oracle. Let me see where I am. Spirit was like, you passed it. I love when, yeah, I just love when Spirit is just like, okay. So the universe wants to express its creativity, healing, and brilliance through you. It does not want to be limited to repeating what has already been. Newness needs to burst through you into startling expressions of abundant life. Resources are coming to you now. If you have been in lack, lamentation, or anxiety about such things happening, relax and substitute your stress for the absolute trust that the universe will provide all good things with generosity and grace. If you find this challenging, take it one step at a time, reprogramming your heart and mind into new habits of peaceful trust. It will feel much better to live like this. Peaceful trust. Take your time. Take life one step at a time. Take the challenging energies one breath at a time. You got this. I'll see you tomorrow if you so choose to be here with me. Thanks for watching this video.